Hello everyone, Mila here, and welcome back to Persona 5 Royal Blind. Well, the true villains have been revealed, as far as I can tell anyway. Akechi is the traitor, and he's probably the one who's been going around causing the mental shutdowns in the first place. Because now we've got evidence that I ended up missing, because when I'm Let's Playing, I'm more likely to miss things when I'm just playing the game on my own. That he had already heard Morgana's voice, which means he's already been in the metaverse the first time we actually met the guy in the TV station. So yeah, it's probably him causing the mental shutdowns. And Shido, the guy who I thought was behind it, is. Joker was set up to potentially die. At Akechi's hand, no less. But they were suspicious of him from the beginning, so they already anticipated this whole thing and planned the entire thing out to make sure that Joker would not die. And so, Joker is still alive. And I was also just talking to my friend about the conversation I had right after that save point, where it said, you should save now, the story is about to progress fast. And yeah, selling out your allies does give you a bad ending. So I made the right choices. Let's continue and see what happens next. I heard they arrested one of the Phantom Thieves. No way! I didn't expect him to commit suicide. He's a murderer. He deserved to die. Can finally breathe easy now. Killed himself, huh? Guess we'll never know his motivation. Yeah, I was told that if you made the wrong choices, that fake death would have been quite real. Joker would have actually died. Exhausted. Feels like my consciousness is about to fade away.
Hey, are you alright? Don't fall asleep until we reach our destination.
Oh! Well, you are my ally now. Could this be the effect of the drug wearing off? Memories I thought were gone are starting to come back.
Are you listening?
More stuff. I am.
Anyway, we need to talk about how to get out of this situation. Futaga's monitoring of Akechi's phone has confirmed it. He did indeed have an ulterior motive.
Yeah, they're just using the unreliable narrator throughout the game. And those moments where the thing got all blurry like this, I was telling you it was unreliable at that very moment.
It's on a completely different level than just that.
They could only do this if they had the game be a flashback like they did. Nice setup, ATLUS.
Not only was he trying to frame us, but he was the true culprit behind the mental shutdowns.
Yeah, so he was the one causing the mental shutdowns. I figured that.
His offer to assist us was simply a ploy to frame the Phantom Thieves and kill him. If we go into Sis's palace as he suggests, we'll likely be met by a large ambush of police forces.
To think he would be this far gone. I know now what it means to feel a chill down my spine. Furthermore, he wishes to bring a police squad from reality into the palace.
If the 8 of us can enter at once, it's not inconceivable to think a larger group is possible.
Yeah.
He may even be able to bring in vehicles or other special pieces of equipment.
So, this really was just a setup to shift the blame onto us.
Yeah, I said that Akechi might be trying to get close to us so he could sell us out. He could be the traitor. That was entirely what happened. That was exactly it.
He made us go after Okumura. Then once we triggered the change of heart, he killed him.
And he told us he had seen the true culprit, but it was him the entire time!
Yeah.
The whole time he was working with Makoto's sister, he was really just some homicidal maniac. Come on, we We gotta take that bastard Akechi down. Isn't that recording we got enough proof to do it?
No. Akechi is merely a tool. His orders come from elsewhere. The grand mastermind behind this all.
Yeah.
An unimaginable fiend capable of arranging the murder of a suspect inside of a police station.
Unless we find out who that is, we will continue being targeted even if we defeat Akechi.
But what means do we have of learning his identity?
Watch the cutscenes.
We'll have to make Akechi say it. Though once we do, that mastermind will likely eliminate us.
I think that will be the case eventually, regardless of whether or not we learn his identity. The only reason it hasn't happened yet is because we're an easy target to blame for his crimes. If he realizes that's no longer possible and abandons that plan, he may opt to kill us immediately.
Yeah.
Damn it. So we don't got a choice but to go with that bastard's suggestion.
But if we go into the palace like we're told, he'll get arrested, and then Akechi will kill him.
Palace. The palace. Actually, there's something I'd like to say regarding...
Aha! We can use the palace to our advantage!
What's this all of a sudden?
There's a way.
You know, like this, the Phantom Thieves knew about Akechi all along, and were busy making contingency plans to deal with it.
A way to get past Akechi and get the mastermind to lay off of us, all while learning his identity.
Really?
You gotta be kidding me.
If he wants to kill the guy, why not let him? That is, inside of a palace.
Yes, we could have him kill the cognitive version, all the while believing he killed the real one.
Yeah, that's it!
It seems that's our only option. Listen close, everyone. I have a plan for how we can carry this operation out.
Explains everything.
Ever since the death of their teenage leader, the Phantom Thieves have fallen silent. However, the police intend on continuing this investigation until the case is fully solved.
I'm sorry I'm late. I had to finish a few things at work. Where are they?
Waiting upstairs. Go tell them to come on down. I'm gonna fetch him.
You're her sister, correct?
Makoto told me everything.
Uh-huh.
Futaba-chan, I'm sorry that I caused you so much trouble this past summer.
Yeah, so Sojiro knows exactly what's going on.
It's ancient history now.
Man, that goddamn detective.
Look who's here.
Hey, you big bastard.
How've you been?
Ghostly.
You're not floating.
It truly is a relief to see your face.
I bet that moron Akechi don't even know we tricked him yet.
Still, how'd you pull this off? Isn't this guy considered dead?
You weren't told anything? I heard my sister brought him here, though.
Yeah, she came over in a taxi, dumped him off, and told me to keep him safe. It was right after they announced he had died, too. Almost gave me a heart attack.
I didn't have time to explain.
Hey, shouldn't we tell boss what really happened?
We wanted to make our enemy believe the leader of the Phantom Thieves was dead.
What?
What we did was make that enemy kill his fake in the metaverse.
Hold on a sec. Enemy? Fake? What are you talking about?
Yeah, he doesn't understand all the supernatural stuff that's going on.
The true culprit behind all these incidents set us up. Our goal here was to determine their identity.
True culprit? I see. So you guys were going up against someone else.
It was Goro Akechi. You knew beforehand that he was the traitor, didn't you?
Yes.
Akechi himself gave us the chance to strike back. He made one fatal mistake.
I was on to him for a long time, but not for the reason the game gave. I was just really suspicious of him.
Couldn't you have just said from the beginning that Akechi was the real culprit?
That wasn't something we could simply bring up. We couldn't have you suspect Akechi. Besides, neither you nor the other investigators would have believed something like that, would you?
True. Akechi was credited with the arrest of the Phantom Thieves. Not even I would think he was the culprit. In other words, you left him alone on purpose. That was a bold move.
God, I can't keep up with any of this stuff.
Yeah.
So what was this mistake Akechi made? What did he do?
He slipped up in regards to Morgana's voice.
You mean a cat?
Yes, Morgana can talk.
Sorry, was that supposed to be a joke?
Oh, our apologies. That's completely true. You surprised?
Does that mean he said something just now as well?
But you don't understand him, do you? That's how it was for all of us at first, too.
When you're in the metaverse, Mona talks like a normal person. Once you hear that and your brain realizes he can actually talk, you start to understand him in reality.
Yeah.
It's a change in cognition, most likely.
The cognition changing is what this game is all about, so...
Thanks to Akechi's lame acting, we figured out something was up.
When we talked to Akechi at the school festival, he was acting like he just realized Mona could talk. But we already saw him drop a mega hint about it way earlier.
Yeah, something I entirely missed because I'm focusing on commentary and doing the voices and all that. I miss things.
Oh, I know a place! I want to go to that huge pancake-looking place we passed on the way here!
Oh, am I mistaken? I thought I heard something about delicious pancakes.
Yeah, somehow I completely missed that.
Mona was the only one who was talking about a pancake. That meant Akechi'd already been in the metaverse by then.
And since he was lying to us about that, we assumed he had a hidden motive behind contacting us.
It seemed odd upon further thought. His reaction to my pancake comment was an honest one, after all.
The story was too good.
He did approach us when we found ourselves in the worst trouble yet. That's why we asked Futaba-chan to wiretap his phone.
I pretended to be interested in checking the phone out, but I was actually planting my app. My heart was pounding while I was doing it, though.
Even that ace detective could never have imagined a program being installed so quickly. Futaba's quirky nature proved to be a great help.
Yeah.
That was just an act!
After a few days of listening, this confirmed his betrayal.
Then I'll guide the police into her palace and have them catch the Phantom Thieves in the act. That would be the only way to arrest them, given their methods. I'll deal with them after that. Let me see. We could say he stole the guard's gun and committed suicide during his imprisonment. How about that? Public security questioning will occur on the first day. And with that room, my task will be simple.
Is this for real?
Yes.
Yes, the guard will be one of ours. We'll have to eliminate him after to destroy the evidence, though.
So they planned to get rid of that guard from the beginning.
Well then, I will make the arrangements the day after the arrest. And thus, the dangerous criminal responsible for the mass mental shutdowns shall end his own life. When he does, you will become a great hero who saved Japan from evil. As will I, of course.
I knew he was acting strangely, but to think he was this far gone.
He's no ace detective. Akechi is the perpetrator behind the mental shutdown crimes. On top of that, there's someone else commanding Akechi. Someone with great authority. So great that they can order an assassination in a police station. That's why we had to make a move before they did.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
We baited Akechi into Sis's palace, making him dispose of our leader's fake, but think he killed him.
You put him into her palace.
Can you elaborate on that in more detail? What exactly happened in my cognitive world?
We're sorry for using you without your permission. Your palace had all the conditions we needed.
What conditions?
First, we required a place inside the cognitive world that was the same as in reality.
That place is based on the real world after all. Anywhere that's not warped looks just like normal.
That's why nobody but the person who uses the nav even realizes they're in the metaverse.
Back with Kamoshida, we came in from the station without even noticing.
That brings back memories.
You totally can't tell the difference if there ain't any distortions around.
We had already investigated Nijima-san's palace when Makoto brought the suggestion to us.
I was seriously impressed by that suggestion. To be honest, I didn't quite understand it, but I went along with it.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, it's good we have her heading up our operations.
Indeed.
Makoto is normally so calm as well, but once her mind is set, she gets oddly impulsive.
I did have a bit of a rivalry forming with Akechi. But I just couldn't contain myself anymore once you became a target, sis. The reason I joined the Phantom Thieves was to heal your heart, after all.
My own achievements were all that mattered to me. I was desperate. I wasn't myself at all. I'm sorry I couldn't see that.
That goes for the both of us. We heard from Mako-chan that you were going to do the interrogation, Nijima-san.
And regarding its location, I take it you used the data from my laptop?
I'm sorry.
Go on.
There were two things we were able to confirm while we were checking the metaverse. First, our clothes didn't change when we were down in the interrogation room. Second, the scenery and details outside of the palace proper were the same as in the real world.
Once we heard that from Makoto, we secretly went to check it out without Akechi knowing.
There was also one more thing we absolutely needed to make this work. A perfect cognitive replica of him in the metaverse's interrogation room.
Since he had yet to be caught, though, there obviously wouldn't be anyone in that room.
Once we saw the casino guests and police officers, we were convinced this would work. They looked no different from actual living people.
After that, we just had to work our way into the palace like usual, while keeping Akechi in the dark.
So everything just fell into place.
Everything went as planned up until we defeated Sis's shadow. However, it was then that we were met with a terrifying, unexpected police ambush. As a result, even though we managed to grab the treasure, we couldn't get it out of the metaverse. Except that was all an act. We had prepared an empty briefcase beforehand, and merely acted like we were taking the treasure. This was because we knew the police would be coming for us.
We made sure before the operation that the police would be waiting to ambush us. And just as expected, he totally took the bait.
Him getting captured by the police went exactly how we planned it.
And I had been interrogating him with no knowledge of this.
Yep.
But how did you lure Akechi into this cognitive world's interrogation room?
All I needed were the coordinates.
Seems like she used this laptop to remotely access the metaverse. Asking her about it now would drag on the conversation too long. Should talk to her later.
Akechi disposed of the fake in the palace and left thinking he had been victorious. It must have been truly hilarious for our leader who sat idly in the real world's interrogation room. Surely he was acting quite cocky by himself in that quiet chamber.
So that's why you gave me your phone. I only took it because of what you told me.
It's a shame I didn't have the opportunity to see that for myself.
I thought I didn't die.
All I could do was try to handle all the messages that started coming to me on his phone. Huh. So in other words, I've been to the metaverse, albeit for a brief moment.
In our experience, there is little danger when someone enters their own palace for so short a time.
That's the other reason we had him give it to you. We needed you to listen to Alibaba, deceive the guard, and ultimately aid in his escape. By having you head back to the interrogation room, we could return you to the real world as well.
I mean, I had to think of some way to keep you from running into Akechi mid-assassination.
Huh. Astounding. I hadn't the slightest idea that such a grand operation was taking place within me.
I'm so glad he was able to persuade you during the interrogation. Even though we knew Akechi's plan, we were pretty worried about that part.
Yeah.
True.
Well, it came down to what Joker did.
Why is that?
Without Sis on our side, Futaba's plan and subsequent breakout would have never been possible. That persuasion was easily our greatest gamble. We couldn't consult Sis beforehand. It was absolutely the make or break moment of the entire plan.
Still, I'm surprised you could convince me in such a short time. Were you confident you could do it?
I was.
I see. Either way, I can't believe you went for such a risky idea.
If we could just tell you the true culprit's plan, I knew you'd realize the bigger picture. Realize that our leader was telling the truth, and that there was a greater evil to pursue.
As a result, we emerged victorious.
Then the reason you kept this a secret from me was so you could catch the true culprit, correct?
Yes. Plus, you had lost control of yourself at the time.
Mm-hmm.
This is stunning. All I can really do is laugh.
Yeah, it's all so crazy, but you know it's all true.
I've kind of figured out that you guys made Akechi kill a fake. But what did you do about the body?
The police never even checked it.
Huh?
They had a coroner working to ensure his death was reported as a suicide. That coroner didn't take one look at the scene and just passed along a falsified death certificate.
The bad guys have that much influence?
Yep.
Murder in a police station would be reckless otherwise. We also knew of a possible conspirator.
Thanks to Futaba-chan's messages and the guard's demeanor, I eventually came to understand. And since the higher-ups at the police knew nothing of this, they were thrown into disarray. As a result, his suicide during imprisonment was reported on the news, just as Akechi planned.
And with that confusion, he was able to escape with Nijima-san's help.
I made sure nobody would check the morgue for his body, and thanks to that, nobody knows he survived.
Thinking back to the interrogation, though, I can't believe what they did to him. The callous use of violence and even drugs is utterly abnormal.
Yeah.
If he had lost consciousness and hadn't been able to tell Sis about the phone, he would have died. I'm truly glad you made it back safe.
Yeah, the whole plan was just one giant gamble, but it's all paid off. It was close.
I almost became one of your assailants as well.
It still freaked me out when I saw the suicide on the news, though.
We made sure to live normal lives while he was being interrogated to avoid drawing any suspicion. Even with that, I couldn't help but worry for him in my heart.
Well, I knew right away that her plan worked out.
Yeah, I mean, you heard about the suicide, you're like, yeah.
I wanted to believe, but considering what we were up against.
Ryuji's a bit on the dense and carefree side.
Yeah, valid.
Can it, cat?
I had to be patient and avoid this place until things settled down. I finally feel relieved.
We knew he was alive, but it was difficult to not worry until we could confirm it in person.
Now that I think about it, my interrogation was just a formality for the head commander. What a joke, letting me interrogate someone who was meant to die. They just wanted to avoid backlash. Very well. From here forward, I will do my utmost to assist you. You saved me, after all.
That's reassuring to hear.
Good to have you on our side.
I'll do whatever I can to help too. Just let me know. Let's take a break for now, though. This old brain is pooped. Oh, and feel free to use the first floor when you guys want to get together to talk. You'll need a hideout where you can be safe. Just say the word, and I'll close shop early.
Are you sure?
This guy can't leave. Plus, you won't make much progress if people can hear you from downstairs.
Yeah.
It's not like this place is the liveliest joint in town. It won't be a huge loss for me.
Let us accept his offer. What a great man.
Yeah, he's doing everything he can to help us out. Summary of the story up to this point has been updated. Goto Tsukino.
That sounds familiar.
It's me, Akechi.
Enter.
That's the death certificate of the principal offender, correct? Is there a problem with it?
No, nothing in particular. More importantly, you've done well with regard to the prosecutors.
The cause of death for the SIU director has been settled as a stroke.
I had him work quite substantially on forging evidence. His loss should be mourned.
It was thanks to his efforts that I could enter the Phantom Thieves' interrogation room, too.
The SIU is in disarray with his death. I'll take my time choosing a successor after the elections.
At any rate, I'm now praised as a hero, and I owe it all to the Phantom Thieves.
All possible hindrances are now gone. There's no doubt that this election is mine.
You're doing this just to get elected?
And on to our next story, the snap election for the House of Representatives. Discussion is swirling around potential nominees as the deadline for candidacy announcement nears. Candidates will announce on the 23rd of this month, while voting will be held on the 18th of next.
Elections, huh? Don't matter to us. It's not like we can vote in them yet anyways.
Yeah, you're too young to vote.
Why don't we resume our conversation?
Well, the Phantom Thieves are back together. We can finally take it to Akechi and the bastard backing him.
Have you figured out who's behind all this?
Akechi accidentally let that slip after the murder. He said, Shido-san.
Shido? Feels like I've heard that somewhere.
He is unmistakably a man of power if he has such strong connections to the police.
Shido? Could it be Masayoshi Shido?
Who?
I believe he's a politician. Remember Ryuji?
You said his speech was too loud.
For real?
Yep.
It's certainly possible that Shido is the mastermind.
Huh?
Do you have some kind of evidence?
Nothing material. However, there are various conditions which align with that possibility. First, he would profit from damage done to the current administration by the psychotic breakdowns. He's maintained a negative stance toward the Phantom Thieves and has gained tremendous popularity. On top of that, he'll most likely become the next Prime Minister if he wins this upcoming election.
No!
Did he set us up with that election in mind?
Yeah.
If he is behind all this, that would be in stark opposition to his honest public image.
So his current position and popularity is just him benefiting from the mental collapses.
All this is just so he can be the Prime Minister.
We'll make him have a change of heart, no matter what it takes.
Mom.
Shido, huh?
What is the matter?
I had a feeling he was wrapped up in all this.
Oh, you had an idea, Sojiro?
Just based on the connections I had from my previous job. I think the one who crushed Wakaba's research and confiscated her materials was probably Shido.
It would make sense. He uses the metaverse and all that.
From the moment Wakaba died, I had a hunch he was involved. But there wasn't anything I could do, so I chose to protect Futaba and went into hiding.
Why didn't you say that sooner?
You guys would have definitely gone after him if I had. He would have just killed all of you, no doubt. That's what he usually does to people who get in his way.
Originally, I was looking into the mental shutdown cases. It was then that I accidentally stumbled upon government research regarding the psychotic breakdowns. So I tracked down the whereabouts of that research data and met with the associated parties. Boss was one of those parties. I would never have imagined all of this was connected. The mental shutdowns, psychotic breakdowns, Shido, and even the Phantom Thieves' actions.
Way back when, Shido kept saying he was going to be Prime Minister one day. Nobody believed him, though.
What's going to happen to this country if Shido becomes Prime Minister? What about the world?
The issue is simpler than that. This is nothing more than yet another selfish adult trying to impose his will on the public.
Comes down to it, yeah.
We gotta expose that rotten bastard!
Yeah, we'll do it like always. Then let's check the nav.
Masayoshi Shido, the guy running for Prime Minister. Got a hit! Well, duh. It ain't a surprise he has one.
Yeah.
Where would the location be?
What kind of things go through a politician's head?
I always think of dirty money and shady actions.
That is typical for politicians.
What does he do? And where? We don't got a clue about this guy's life.
Not enough vehicle out there?
His palace must be somewhere that politicians frequent. Any ideas?
The Diet Building. Immediately thinking, the government building, of course.
We got a hit!
How arrogant must he be to see himself as the ruler of the Diet Building?
Our next target's the big shot politician Masayoshi Shido. We're gonna do this, right?
The one behind it all. What about Akechi?
No need to waste time with him. We just gotta hit the head. Nobody against it?
Of course!
He will be a worthy opponent.
Let's win this together.
And if he somehow finds out what we're doing, Akechi will get involved.
Time for revenge!
Then it's unanimous.
All we gotta do now is figure out what he thinks that Diet Building place is.
So that's the app that allowed me to enter the metaverse.
An old fart like me can't wrap his head around all this stuff.
We'll have to deal with this before Election Day, December 18th. That means we need it done by the 17th.
Well, there's a deadline.
It's best we hurry before they discover there's no body in the morgue.
Should we start tomorrow then? We can meet at the Diet Building after school.
That reminds me, what are you gonna do about school? You can't show up if you're supposed to be dead.
Yeah.
Miss Kawakami said he went back home for family reasons.
That's what I told the school.
Don't let him find out you're alive then, all right? This whole thing would be for nothing.
What do you mean?
This operation had another purpose outside of escaping Akechi's clutches. Shido tried to place all the blame on the Phantom Thieves and deceive the public at the same time. He has ruined countless lives, and even made Goro Akechi, a student, assist him with assassinations. A mere change of heart is too lenient a sentence for such an abominable criminal.
We'll be making use of the police statement that the leader of the Phantom Thieves committed suicide. Our leader, who is presumed dead, will come out of hiding to deliver a grand statement. He'll say he has escaped prison, not committed suicide, and was in fact almost killed by a criminal.
Well, here you go.
Everyone's gonna flip.
You guys thought through all this stuff too?
So you do what you plan ahead. Way ahead.
We're intellectuals, you know.
Says you.
That's why you needed such a daring trick as getting captured and appearing to be killed. What frightening teenagers.
But the true battle has only just begun. We won the first round, but we must stay on our toes.
Yeah, it's not over yet.
Yeah, this ain't the time to be celebrating.
Let's find out what's going on. We're all finished.
These people tried to trap and kill us. There is no end to their inhuman, conniving nature. We will need to be prepared for whatever may come our way.
Indeed.
I finally made it this far. It's already been 2.5 years since we met.
Back then, you earned the media's attention as a young politician who could rise up against bureaucracy. Because of that, those who wanted to preemptively deal with problems tried to tie you up in scandal.
To think I would fall for the ruse schemed by those decrepit fools in power. I recall that's when you came to me. You promoted yourself saying you had special powers. If it wasn't for the research on cognition that I dabbled in, I would have thought you insane.
So you're the one that initially brought the information to Shido in the first place, in terms of this.
I made those troublesome opponents psychotic, and erased any trace of that scandal.
Who'd think that tampering with a person's heart could trigger a psychotic lapse or mental shutdown? And when someone like that said he'd support me, I had suspected there'd be an ulterior motive.
It's because I sympathized with your aspiring ideology. I believed that your ideals needed to be achieved for the sake of the country's future.
I want to compare this to a political party in the US, but I'm not going to do that.
Well, my faith in you was precisely why I pulled the plug on that research. I only need you using that power. It'd be troublesome if someone else uncovered how it works.
Yeah, something could stop you.
Wakaba Ishiki, was it? That researcher. She wouldn't have had to die if she just complied.
Any suspicions should be snubbed out. Even the smallest doubt must be severed at the root.
Yeah, so you're the one who killed her, Akechi.
After all, we had an active public prosecutor's office director on our side, until recently.
Astounding, isn't it? To think the director himself often forged evidence to secure his promotion. He was quite surprised when you confronted him about it. He didn't know who leaked that information. Well, I got that out of his shadow, so technically speaking, he did it himself.
This country's affairs have become stagnant. The political world is filled with old men who only act to preserve their own vested interests.
Sounds like the United States.
The general public has forsaken such political affairs and don't even bother. Only ruin awaits us.
I must agree.
There's no need to be ruined along with such incompetent fools. I will lead this country to its revival.
Not the way you're going about it, you won't.
Those who get in the way must be eliminated at times. That's the correct way to use the metaverse.
Still, it would stand out if there were continuous deaths and scandals with your political rivals. Which is why I made them suspects. Prosecute the targets that I turn psychotic, and solve them as cases unrelated to you. And thus, the charismatic ace detective was born.
Thanks to your efforts, my clean image remains untarnished, and I've monopolized public opinion. Once I gained public sentiment, collaborators from all sectors began approaching me on their own. The police were no exception. With their management in my pocket, keeping them in check was easy.
When the Phantom Thieves emerged, I thought things might become somewhat troublesome.
And they were just brats once we looked into it. All we needed to do was lay the blame on them.
When you told me that, I knew then that you were the better man.
So this has been set up for quite some time.
Their popularity was a bit beyond my expectations, but flipping it made the negative press stronger. After that, all I had to do was openly berate them. I've been gaining more supporters since. The current administration is dead with ongoing scandals. Never mind the fact that they're my doing. Even the government parties have begun splitting up, and they're dissolving just as planned. The time has finally come. Just a little more, and I will take the seat of Prime Minister. However, inauguration isn't my goal. That's when everything truly begins. I'll make this country rich for the sake of its selfish and ignorant masses who can only rely on others.
In other words, you're creating a powerful country that can compete with the world.
The public resonates with my ideals and follows me.
Because they don't know what you're really doing.
And for that, some sacrifices can't be avoided. That is my duty as the Chosen One.
The Chosen One?
Your assistance has been very influential in making my plans proceed smoothly.
Yeah. Is there someone that's actually behind you, perhaps at the bottom of Mementos?
When I become Prime Minister, I'll grant whatever wish you want.
With this most recent case, my name has become known across the country, perhaps even the world. Surely my story will be passed down as a hero who won against monsters that could control people's hearts. I believe I'll lay low and devote myself to my studies.
I suppose with your age, you wouldn't come up with debauched desires.
I am thinking about the future, though.
Well, how do I put this?
Looks like things have finally settled down. Well, it's going to get real busy for you starting tomorrow, right? Get some rest.
Well then.
She's right. Let's take it easy for today. These den updated. Portray Shido's palace, steal Shido's heart.
So.
Oh, by the way, the police report on your death isn't going to show up at your school. No need to worry. This prosecutor in Ichiba worked out some kind of deal with the higher-ups or something. I mean, they haven't even said anything to me even. As long as you stay quiet, you'll be fine.
And how do I put this?
And I guess if they reported your death now, they'd basically be saying you were a Phantom Thief. They can't really go announcing what the Phantom Thieves are, so I'm sure they'll avoid that. At any rate, I'm glad you're back safe and sound. But even that's putting it too lightly. You had it rough in there, didn't you? Don't worry about it. Ketchy was after you all along. I knew it was risky, but we had no choice but to depend on him. Thanks to your tenacity, you were able to fool him. It's payback time. Let's make him regret underestimating the Phantom Thieves.
Remember how I hijacked your phone during the school trip? That kinda came in handy.
Yeah. How so?
Well, remember how I put that wiretap app in Akechi's phone? Basically, that let me see GPS info for 2 phones, yours and his. I'd be able to tell the precise moment Sai Nijima, who had your phone, ran into Akechi.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's when I saw my chance, and beep, sent the signal to activate the Metaverse Navigator. But there was a chance they'd just pass each other without saying a single word. That's why we needed you to tell Sai Nijima to show the phone to Akechi.
This plan still surprises me no matter how many times I hear it.
Still, I couldn't just directly hack into the Metaverse Nav. It's a mysterious app after all. But you know how it has that bookmark function? All you have to do is push the button. Making the phone think he was pushing that button was totally doable. Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, so one hell of an elaborate plan. And very, very risky to try to pull it off, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do anything today, can I? Nope.
Hey!
Yeah, why not? Take care of the plan even though I don't need to. So my stats already maxed out.
Yes!
I'm gonna head back then.
You can let it home. Go to bed, alright? Yeah. I'll probably be able to save again soon.
Guess he won't be going to school for a while.
So I got a little bit further.
Don't worry about it. This'll be a breeze compared to what we've had to face so far. And we'll have all the time to come up with the plans together. To be perfectly honest, I don't really care what happens to Shido, one way or the other. But when I consider the fact that he's your enemy, I naturally think he's my enemy as well.
Well, he is.
I'm going to stay with you until the very end.
Alright, it's obviously time to max out Morgana's confidant rank.
Well then, we should get to sleep. You know, something that Futaba said before. When you were in a pinch in the palace, she picked up a reading of someone who came to your rescue. Was that...
It was Kasumi.
So it was Yoshizawa. Then we'd better let her know you're safe now. And I'll even lend you a hand with that.
Apparently, Akechi arrested the leader of the Phantom Thieves. He's a hero. I'm so glad Akechi's back. Hope they can catch the rest of the Phantom Thieves too. He really is amazing. Ah, if only you knew.
There's no point in even having an election. Shido's gonna win.
Of course, he's the only reliable politician there is. Plus, the current government has been getting wrapped up in scandal after scandal. Even more importantly, there's just an aura about him. Like he can fix whatever problems we have.
Honestly, it doesn't really matter to me who does it. I just want to see our society back on track. Especially after it turned out those Phantom Thieves were nothing more than scum in the end.
We'll show you.
I heard you went home, so I announced it during homeroom. Are you okay? I am, thanks. You're alive! The news is reporting you committed suicide. Call me when you can. I was so confused. But as long as you're safe. Don't worry about school, just take care of yourself. Yeah, 'cause she knows. Is it true that the leader of the Phantom Thieves died? How could the police let him commit suicide in jail? They need to get their stuff together.
Cut that out!
Quiet down, you're in class. Break's been over for quite some time now. I swear you're like monkeys in a zoo. Oh yeah. I received words from Sukino's family that he'll be absent for a bit. Jeez, what do people think school is, anyway? It's almost time. Hey, it can't be true, can it? Please tell me you're okay. I'm all good. Oh, thank God you're safe. The suicide report was all over the news. Miss Kawakami said you went back to your hometown. I was honestly worried about contacting you. Even Sakamoto was dodging a question when I tried to ask him. But don't worry, I won't tell anyone. By the way, the fan site is a real mess right now. Keep supporting you from the shadows. Good luck. Yeah, I imagine the fan site would be a mess. Our approval rating is like 3%.
Hey.
Don't need to worry about it in here. We're trying not to do anything to draw attention. Anyway, today's a day off, so get your curry and take it easy. You can take your time with it too. It's not like any customers are going to be showing up.
Okay.
Trying to think of a keyword once Chief's curry has energized you. You guys figured out the keyword to Shido's palace yet? Tried all sorts of stuff, but no luck so far. It's hard to understand the thought process of a criminal mastermind like him. You know, I've been wondering, if he's behind all those mental shutdowns, doesn't that mean all the weird accidents from the past few years were his fault? Like the subway accident back in April? Yes. Well, you mentioned it. That accident lost the Minister of Transport his job. Right. Trying to say Shido caused that accident? But it's a subway. Does he not care at all about innocent lives? No, he doesn't. He only cares about benefiting himself. Man, truly seems to be truly unbelievable. Supposedly, there are still tons of victims from that in the hospital even now. Yeah, I can believe it. Masayoshi Shido. How many has he killed over the years? How could he ever understand what goes on in the mind of such a horrible man? Hey, wouldn't it be faster if we just go there and try to think about it on site? Let's try that! If we're going to, I'd like Mikoto-kun to join, but... Will that be okay? Will somebody spot him there? Probably figure out the keyword in no time once we're there. Plus, I can throw off anyone who tails us with my blazing speed. Alright, let's have Mikoto-kun join us then. Remember though, we're going with the intent of not being seen. Okay, well, let's meet in front of the Diet Building and force that bastard's palace open.
Alright, let's head to the Diet Building. Make sure you aren't discovered, okay?
Put the hood up. Get a hoodie, put it up. Yeah, exactly.
You going out?
That's the plan.
You gotta be kidding me. You realize you're done for if you get caught, right? Ugh. The stunts you pull sometimes. Just don't stay out too late.
We'll be fine.
Akechi isn't here.
Let's begin at once. Police cars are making rounds, so we can't stay here too long. We already have Masayoshi Shido and Diet Building. All we need is what he thinks of this place.
Maybe Mount Fuji, since it's the highest place in the country?
Conditions have not been met.
What about a mansion?
Since he's going to subjugate everyone as Prime Minister, perhaps a school?
What about an arena, like the Colosseum?
Imperial Palace?
Conditions have not been met.
It's no good.
Nothing.
I thought we would have gained entry by now. Maybe we shouldn't have called you here.
Hey, you think he's guarding his whole palace with a barrier? Shido stole the cognitive science research, right? Well, maybe it had some special move written in it.
It's possible.
Is that even possible?
Who knows? I've got no idea. There was nothing like that in the notes I saw.
Anyways, what kind of person is Shido? I can't figure him out.
I did some light research on him last night, but I couldn't get a grasp on the type of man he is.
That man over there is probably a legislator, right? I'll try asking him. Excuse me, I'm a member of the newspaper club at my high school. May I speak with you for a moment?
Sure.
What kind of person is Representative Shido? What's he think about the national diet?
His stance is dedication for country. It's how he's garnered everyone's trust. He's an admirable man of action, with a first-class determination. I'd say he's a model politician. I believe that he'll help create a wonderful future in which young adults like you can live in ease.
An exemplary answer.
Yeah.
It makes sense he wouldn't tell teenagers anything unnecessary.
Look over there. He's on a walkie-talkie.
Wait, is it about us?
That doesn't look good.
We should leave at once. Tomorrow's the day off, so let's have an early strategy meeting. Meet at LeBlanc, okay?
We should all think about this tonight.
The criminals calling themselves the Phantom Thieves are no more.
We're still here, he just don't know it yet.
However, I believe that this country's citizens are still living their days in anxiety.
I haven't been talking much recently, but I haven't had much to say.
These scandals only increase our distrust of the current government. As a citizen myself, I am enraged.
Look who's talking.
What does it mean to be a politician with responsibility? Working toward personal gain without consideration of the country is outrageous.
The election's public notification is tomorrow. But no matter where I go, people are cheering for Shido.
Everyone's being deceived so easily.
I tried looking Shido's interviews up online. They all sound so fake. Checked his profile as well, but I couldn't find much outside of his title and education. He's currently 53 years old and has gone from being a metropolitan assemblyman to a representative. Though he is a cabinet minister and split from the ruling party to form the United Future Party. Shido's a cabinet minister? For real? He was specially appointed to the position. That's his current title. Apparently, he also won a contest for people who would most like to have as their boss. Even the news sites write about him as though he's assured to become the Prime Minister. If only we could find out the meaning behind Shido's words.
In order to save this country that has been tainted by villains, social reform is essential.
Ugh.
What's with all the love for Shido? I get that no one knows the truth about him, but he still creeps me out. Yeah. Nice, you got the Phantom Thieves logo up here. Well, we know what's going on now. Everything's been revealed. Except for potentially what's at the bottom of Mementos. But we're gonna have to deal with Shido before that. And we're gonna have to do that in the next... continue with that in the next episode, obviously. So, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.
It's not a